Is it that the males, that male can be left for the same time the females are going, or no?
Could you please repeat that, Judge?
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the males. The interpreter is on the way, so instead of waiting until the interpreter gets here, since I have to read all the rights and all that twice anyway, with the females, is it possible to have the male that needs the interpreter go when the females are going?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's do it that way. Let's just start it with the males and just knock those gentlemen out here while we wait.
All right, everybody stand up.
All right, good morning, everyone. Today is June 29th, 2021. This is Magistrate Court of Clayton County. Judge Knight's presiding here. It's the first appearance calendar. And you're here this morning for me to inform you of your charge or charges, your bond, if you're entitled to a bond, your next court date, which is your preliminary hearing date. Appoint an attorney to represent you if you qualify. And those will be the main things, but the most important thing is I'm going to tell you your constitutional rights that you have. They never go away. And they're as follows. Of course, you have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state, which is the prosecutor, proves these charge or this charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt at a trial. So everyone's presumed innocent. No one's guilty at this time. You have the right to an indictment by grand jury for most serious felonies, and an indictment is a charging document which is presented to citizens of Clayton County. It's about 24 citizens. They meet, and the district attorney presents evidence and facts about your case through a state's witness, usually a law enforcement officer, and the grand jurors decide if they should give a true bill, which is a true bill indictment, which means the charges will go forward, or no bill, which means the charges can be dismissed at that point. So that's for most felonies. For non-serious or other felonies and all misdemeanors, you have the right to an accusation. That is a charging document. The accusation for felony is brought by the district attorney. The accusation for misdemeanor is brought by the solicitor general. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses that the state can call to testify against you at a jury trial. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses on your own defense through a legal document known as a subpoena. You also have the right to testify and offer evidence on your own behalf if you choose to do so. But should you choose not to do so, there's no presumption of your guilt that can be raised. Also, you have the right to be represented by counsel, and I'll go over that with you when I speak with you all, individually. For those of you who are here today, one of the things that I will inform you of after I tell you of your charge or charges and I'll go through that with you. If you're entitled to a bond, we'll let you know your bond amount. Keep in mind, this is magistrate court, and magistrate court judges cannot give you a bond at this stage if the law does not require it. This is where the law does not require me to give you a bond, and in fact, you're not entitled to a bond. Also, there are other factors such as prior criminal history, whether a person is on parole or probation, whether the flight risks. Those are things that are considered in determining whether to set a bond. So today, not all of you will get a bond. It doesn't mean you will never get a bond. It just means you're not getting one today. You have to stay in touch with your lawyer, and the lawyer can communicate with the district attorney or the solicitor general to discuss bond at the appropriate time after today. Some of you will get what is known as a special condition of bond. Special conditions mean you can't go somewhere or you can't contact someone. If I say don't go to 123 Main Street, you can't go there. If I say don't contact Joe Smith, you can't contact Joe Smith. There'll be on the bond order, there will be a portion on the bottom You'll see it, and it will have my signature, and on the bottom it'll say defendant and the date. You have to sign off and acknowledge receiving that at the appropriate time before bonding out. So the other thing is, I don't work for any bonding company, so I can't tell you what the percentage of the fee is for your bond. I can tell you the amount. The bonding company can tell you all the details about the percentage needed and all those things. Also, your next court date is your preliminary hearing date. Your preliminary hearing is probable cause hearing, or prelim, as it's sometimes called. It's simply where the state brings their witness or witnesses, usually law enforcement officer, and that officer will testify as to why he or she arrested you. Then you can cross-examine, and then the judge will decide at that time if there was sufficient probable cause or valid legal reason. It has to be articulated, it has to be said out loud. What's the reason for the arrest? If the arrest was not valid, your case is dismissed. If the arrest was valid, your case will be bound over to Superior Court if it's a felony, or at least one felony. If you have multiple charges, if at least one is a felony, your case goes to Superior Court. If there's no felonies and only one or more misdemeanors, then your case will go to state court. So that's your next court date, your preliminary hearing date. For those of you charged with felonies, that date is August 6th, 2021 at 8:30. If you're charged with a misdemeanor, it's August 17th at 8:30. I'm sorry, for the misdemeanors, August 16th, not 6th, August 16th. For the felonies, 17th. And for bond, it is the 20th. Again, if you bond out before the 16th or 17th, that date goes away. Stay in touch with your lawyer and stay in touch. Make sure the court has your proper address, because they'll mail a notice for your next court date, which will be in either state or Superior Court. So you'll skip the preliminary hearing phase if you bond out. If you are still in custody on August 16th or 17th, that's when you have a preliminary hearing. If you feel strongly about it and you bond out and feel like you need a preliminary hearing, speak with your lawyer. So that's what's happening this morning. I'm going to tell you your charge or your charges. I'm going to tell you your bond amount, if you're entitled to a bond, any special conditions. And I'll also let you know if you qualify for a court-appointed counsel, and what your preliminary hearing date. Remind you, felonies, August 16th. Misdemeanors, August 17th, bond hearing, August 20th. All right, each of you raise your right hand. All right, do solemnly swear or affirm any statements of testimony. First appearance matter now pending before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth.
Yes. Your Honor, you free?
Can pull it up, including the prosecutor, and see and hear what you said. If for whatever reason, all right, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor. We can hear you now. Okay. You froze earlier, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, you can put your hands down, gentlemen. You can put your hands down. So after I'll call you individually, and then we'll go from there. I'll tell you what your charge is, your bond amount if you're entitled, and next court date, qualify you for an attorney if you qualify, and then if you have any questions, you can ask them then. Keep in mind, I'm not your attorney, so I can't give you legal advice. And lastly, resist the urge to tell me facts about your case. This is being live streamed on YouTube, so you don't want to say something that someone else can look up on YouTube related to your case. All right, so first person.
First person is going to be Mr. Coleman.
All right. Mr. Coleman, sir, you have one count of aggravated assault. It's $10,000 is your bond. Battery, $5,000. interference with government property, 2,000. Obstructing an officer, 1,000. Simple battery, 2,000. Your total bond is 20,000. It's no contact with Christian Hilton and Chastity Hilton. You can't go back, sir, at this time to 2192 Mount Zion Parkway in Clayton County. Sir, you understand everything you're charged with, bond amounts and the bond conditions?
Yes.
All right. Your prelim is August 16th, 8:30. And lastly, Mr. Coleman. What appoint counsel to represent you, sir? All right, yeah, any questions?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you, sir.
Your Honor, you can go back. You can go back. We have two inmates that can't be in the room together, Your Honor, so I'm gonna let are you able to let Mr. Higgins go? And then we go, because Mr. Cooper is not in the room right now. They can't be together.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so Mr. Higgins? Hold on. Where's Cooper? He's in two. Yeah. Oh, it's not over here. What is that?
All right, Mr. Higgins. Sir, you're charged with one count of criminal damage in the second degree. Is 2,500 is your bond, and then possession of a firearm by a felon, that is 5,000. 7,500 is your total. Sir, you have a preliminary hearing date of 16th of August, 8:30. And one more thing here, sir. Are you currently employed?
No, sir.
All right, so we'll appoint an attorney to represent you, sir. All right, you have any questions?
Can I get my bond total again?
7,500.
All right, thank you.
All right, yes, sir.
You can go back. Go ahead, go back to where you were.
Your Honor, we also got the females up and ready.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, Deputy Lee, keep bringing them. Let's do it.
Mr. Davis?
No delay. How you doing, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. What's your name?
Emmanuel Davis.
All right, Mr. Davis. Sir, you charged with one count of class violation. Your license is 1,000. Obstructing an officer, 1,000. Impeding traffic, 500. No insurance, 1,000. Failure to stop at a signal, 500. 4,000 is your total, sir. And you have a preliminary hearing scheduled for the 17th of August at 8:30. And lastly, Mr. Davis, stand by for me. All right, sir, are you currently employed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what's your monthly income?
Under $2,000. Under
All right, sir.
1,500, yeah.
Okay. All right, I will go ahead and appoint an attorney to represent you. You have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Your Honor, I now have Mr. Cooper back in the room. Can I put him up now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Cooper.
Mr. Cooper, good morning, sir. One count of aggravated assault, 20,000 is your bond. One count of possession of firearm by a felon, 5,000. In total bonds, 25,000. There's no contact with Joshua Higgins. And whose residence is the 6338 Amberley Road?
Me and my wife,
All right, where's Mr. Higgins live?
he was living with us. He was living with us too.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna put the note, you can't go back to that address since it's your house. Is it his house?
No, he was, he never get there after he get a house.
All right, sir. So you understand the bond conditions, no contact with Mr. Higgins at this time.
Yes, sir.
All right, and one moment here, I'm getting your application for court-appointed counsel. Mr. Cooper, I will appoint an attorney to represent you. You have any questions? All right, thank you.
Mr. Ferguson?
All right, Mr. Ferguson, sir, one count of criminal trespass, damage to property, 3,500 is your bond. Theft by taking, misdemeanors, 2,000. It's a no contact with Marion Cartham. And your preliminary hearing, sir, is August the 16th. And Mr. Ferguson, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, sir?
What my bond was again? Like 500.
5,500.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
So Your Honor, Mr. Garcia is the one that needs the interpreter, so you're gonna go with Mr. Harrison.
Okay. All right, Mr. Harrison, good morning, sir. It's tag, no tag or cancel registration, 500, and possession of less than an ounce of marijuana is 1,500. It's 2,000 is your total, sir, and prelim is set for the 17th of August. And lastly, Mr. Harrison, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, sir? Can you hear me?
I hear you, no, sir. No question.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mr. Johnson?
All right, one moment here, Mr. Johnson. All right, sir, one count of tinted window violations, 500. No license or class of license, 1,000. Violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act is more than an ounce of marijuana, 7,000. Possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, 7,000. Possession of a drug-related object, 500. So your total is 16,000. You have a preliminary hearing date is August 16th, 8:30. And lastly, sir, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions?
No, I'm already got my attorney on.
All right, who's your attorney?
Thomas Stewart.
Say that again.
Thomas Stewart.
Thomas Stewart. All right, Mr. Johnson, I'll note that here. Thomas Stewart will be representing you. All right, any other questions? All right, thank you, sir.
On the 16,000.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks.
All right, Deputy Lee, who's the deputy on the female side?
It's Deputy Irving.
All right, So bring Mr. Garcia
Mr. Garcia, come on up.
and Deputy Irving, if you can have the females, so I don't have to read the rights 3 times. Miss Bermudez is here. Good morning, Miss Bermudez.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good here. Thank you for coming. We had gotten started with some of the males. So I'll just have the females weren't on yet. They just got on. So I'll go through all the rights.
Your Honor, I don't have no female that need a translator. You just want them to stand up?
Yeah, I know, but I already read the rights 1 time, and I'm going to read it with Miss Bermudez for the 2nd time, and I'm not going to read it the 3rd time for the females. So this will be it.
Oh yeah, come on, put your mask up.
All right, before I get started, Miss Bermudez, let me just tell the females what's happening.
Yes.
Ladies, good morning. You all weren't on. There were some technical issues there, but I got started with the males. Miss Bermudez is our Spanish. She's going to be interpreting for us this morning for Mr. Garcia on the male side, but you all can listen closely as well as I explained before Miss Bermudez translate so that you can hear the rights also apply to you. All right. Thank you, Ms. Bermudez. You ready? You're always on the oath, so we're ready.
Yes, sir.
All right. So good morning. Today is June 29th, 2021. This is the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Buenos días. Hoy es día 29 de junio del 2021 y este es el Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
All right. I'm Judge Knights, and you're here this morning for first appearance.
Yo soy el juez Knights y usted en la mañana de hoy está acá para tener su comparecencia inicial.
Will inform you of your charge or charges, your bond amount, if you're entitled to bond, your next court date, which is your preliminary hearing.
Yo le voy a informar de cuál es su cargo o cargos, cuándo va a ser su próxima corte y su audiencia y cuándo va a ser su audiencia preliminar.
I'll also inform you of any special conditions of bond if they apply, and most importantly, your constitutional rights.
Yo le voy a decir si usted tiene alguna condición especial para su fianza, las cuales podrían aplicar, y lo más importante es cuáles son sus derechos constitucionales.
You have the presumption of innocence until the state proves any matters against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Usted tiene la presunción de inocencia a su favor hasta que el Estado pruebe cualquier asunto más allá de una duda razonable.
You have the right to an indictment by grand jury or an accusation.
Usted tiene el derecho de que se le formule una acusación por el gran jurado o que se le formule una acusación si es un delito menor.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un juicio público, rápido y por jurado.
You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses that the state can call to testify against you.
Usted tiene el derecho de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a cualquier testigo que el Estado traiga a testificar en su contra.
You have the right to compel witnesses on your own behalf.
Usted tiene el derecho de obligar testigos a que testifiquen a su favor o de citar testigos para que testifiquen a su favor.
You also have the right to testify, but if you don't testify, the presumption of innocence does not go away.
Usted también tiene el derecho de testificar, pero si usted elige no testificar, usted todavía mantiene su presunción de inocencia.
Most importantly, you have the right to an attorney in every stage of these proceedings.
Y lo más importante es que usted tiene el derecho de tener un abogado en cada una de las etapas de este proceso.
All right, Ms. Bermudez, this is not for Mr. Garcia. Ladies, some of you may not get a bond because you can't get a bond based on the nature of the charge or based on your criminal history or the facts of the case. or something such as whether you're flight risk, those things are considered in bond. Also, in certain situations, a magistrate court judge cannot give a bond, and the superior court judge will have to do so at a different date. All right, Ms. Bermudez, ready again. So I will tell you what your bond is and any special conditions of bond.
Yo le voy a decir de cuánto es su fianza y cualquier condición especial que usted tenga como parte de esta fianza.
A special condition means you cannot go somewhere or you cannot contact someone.
Las condiciones especiales podrían ser como que usted no puede ponerse en contacto con alguien o que usted no pueda ir a algún lugar.
If you do contact that person or do go to the location, you can get additional criminal charges.
Y si usted se pone en contacto con esta persona o si usted va a ese lugar, a usted se le podrían imputar cargos adicionales.
All right, once you get a bond, you can contact a bonding company.
Tan pronto a usted se le otorga una fianza, usted se podría poner en contacto con una compañía de fianzas
Or you can post a cash bond.
o la podría pagar en efectivo.
If there's property that's being used for your bond, there has to be equity in the property of up to 3 times the bond amount.
Si usted usa una fianza para pagar, perdón, si usted usa una propiedad para pagar su fianza, la propiedad tendría que tener un capital neto de hasta 3 veces la cantidad total de su fianza.
The bonding company can charge a fee, and that fee is usually around 15%.
La compañía de fianza le podría cobrar una tarifa y esto es generalmente o podría ser hasta el 15%.
If the person of the no contact provision special condition wishes to bond you out, they cannot.
Si la persona que está nombrada como la víctima en su caso, a esa persona no se le va a permitir pagar la fianza por usted.
All right, and your next court date is your preliminary hearing date.
So, su próxima audiencia es su audiencia preliminar.
Mr. Garcia, you're charged with a misdemeanor that August 17th at 8:30.
Al señor García, a usted se le acusa de un delito menor y su audiencia preliminar sería el 17 de agosto a las 8:30 de la mañana.
All right, ladies, if you're charged with a felony, that date is August 16th. And if you don't receive a bond, that date will be August 17th for a bond hearing. All right, so when I call you, I will tell you your charge, your bond amount, and any special conditions.
Cuando yo lo llame, yo le voy a decir cuáles son sus cargos, la cantidad de su fianza y cualquier condición que usted tenga en esta fianza.
I'll also tell you your preliminary hearing date, as well as whether you qualify for an attorney.
También le voy a decir cuál es la fecha para su audiencia preliminar y si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado.
Each of you raise your right hand, please.
Cada uno de ustedes levanten su mano derecha, por favor.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statement or testimony you will give in this matter not pending before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura usted y afirma que cualquier testimonio que usted dé en la causa ahora pendiente ante la corte va a ser la verdad, toda la verdad, y nada más que la verdad, lo juro ante Dios.
All right, thank you. You can place your hands down, please.
Gracias, pueden bajar su mano, por favor.
All right, Mr. Garcia, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery.
Señor García, a usted se le acusa de un cargo de agresión corporal simple,
All right, so family violence.
violencia doméstica.
Your bond is $3,500.
Su fianza es de $3,500
There is no contact with Allison Donnelly.
y no puede tener contacto con Allison Donnelly.
All right, so your prelim, I've told you, is August 17th at 8:30, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you.
Y como le dije, su audiencia preliminar está programada para el día 17 de agosto a las 8:30 de la mañana y yo le voy a nombrar un abogado para que lo represente.
All right, is the 708 Patricia Drive your address, sir?
La dirección de 708 Patricia Drive, ¿esa es su dirección, señor? Yes.
What is your phone number?
¿Cuál es su número de teléfono?
No hay, bueno,
No le escucho.
no tengo uno ahorita, se me rompió que tenía.
I don't have one right now because the one that I had stopped working.
Okay, well, Mr. Garcia, that's how the court-appointed attorney can contact you. So if they may have to just send you a letter to your address in Forest Park.
Señor García, así es como el abogado de oficio se podría poner en contacto con usted, o sea que ellos tendrían que enviarle entonces una carta a su dirección en Forest Park.
All right, sir, how much do you make each month?
Perdón, ¿cuánto gana usted por mes?
Yo gano 600 a la semana.
I make $600 per week.
Okay. All right, sir, so I am appointing an attorney to represent you. That attorney will be in contact with you.
Ok, señor, yo le voy a nombrar un abogado para que lo represente y ese abogado se va a poner en contacto con usted.
Do you have any questions, Mr. Garcia?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta, señor García?
Solo para saber cuándo voy a salir libre o
When am I going to be released?
Sir, once your bond is paid and if there are no holds on you, you'll be released.
Tan pronto usted pague su fianza y si usted no tiene ninguna otra orden de detención, lo pondrían en libertad.
Any other questions?
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Yes. Necesitaba yo ir a agarrar algún número de teléfono para avisarle a mi patrón para que pague.
I need to get a phone number so I can call my boss so he could pay.
Okay. All right, sir, we'll speak with the deputies and that will conclude your first appearance today.
Ok, señor, hable con los alguaciles y esto concluye su comparecencia inicial en el día de hoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Bermudez, so you're good to go. Thank you for coming and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, sir. Good seeing you, Judge.
You too, thank you. See you.
Jordan,
All right, deputies, if you want to do the females, males, whichever, I'm fine.
Okay, you were done with the mails already, Your Honor?
No, I wasn't. What I'm saying is I'm ready. Whoever's ready.
Okay, go ahead, Deputy Lee.
all right, Officer Jordan. All right, guys. Can come down here.
All right, sir, good morning to you. You have one count of, this is Gary Jordan, right? All right, Mr. Jordan, one count of removal or abandonment of a shopping cart. Your bond is 1,000. Can you hear me?
You said.
What's happening? I can't, what are you saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Maybe it's on my end here. All right, Mr. Jordan, one count of removal or theft of a shopping cart, your bond is 1,000 on that offense. Pedestrian on the walkway is 500 and commercial burglary is 10,000. Special condition that you not return to the Dollar Tree at 7899 Tara Boulevard, Suite B in Jonesboro. Sir, you understand what you're charged with and the special conditions of your bond?
Yes, sir.
All right, and your preliminary hearing is the 16th of August, 8:30. And lastly here, Mr. Jordan, I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions?
What's the total of the bond?
Your total is 11,500. All right, thank you, sir.
Mr. Oliver?
All right, Mr. Oliver, good morning, sir. Yeah. Possession of firearm by convicted felon, 5,000. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, 5,000. Violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, 7,000. The ag assault, sir, unfortunately, there's no bond today. You can speak with your lawyer about the bond or getting a bond on that offense. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for August 16th at 8:30, and your bond hearing is scheduled for August 20th at 8:30. And lastly, here, Mr. Oliver, I will appoint an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, sir?
Yes, I wanted to know, did I have any holds?
That, sir, I don't know. The deputies may be able to tell you. Any other questions, sir?
Okay, no problem. Thank you. No, that's it.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir.
Can you tell me the total of the bond again?
Yeah, the charges that you have a bond on, the total is 17,000, and you don't have a bond on the aggravated assault.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, thank you, sir.
Mr. Rambert?
Good morning.
All right, good morning, Mr. Rambert. Three counts of simple battery. And it's 2,000 on each of those, total of 6,000. No contact with Trinity Perry. Sir, you understand what you're charged with in the special condition of bond?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your preliminary hearing, 17th of August. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions?
Well, just pay the bond and I'm out to it, right? All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. If there's no holes, you should be good.
No votes. Have a good one.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Shores?
All right, sir, it's Mr. Douglas Showers.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Showers, 2 misdemeanors, 1 step by receiving stolen property. 2,000 is your bond. Suspended or revoked license, 1,500. Your bond is 3,500, sir. Preliminary hearing is 17th of August, 8:30. And lastly, Mr. Showers, I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions? All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah, one question. These are 2 misdemeanors, right?
Can you say that one more time?
These are 2 they are both misdemeanors, right?
One moment. The driving while license suspended, misdemeanor, by receiving stolen property, is charged as a felony, but it's a preset bond of 2,000. All right, so the preset bonds are for misdemeanors. So that's what is, I'm leading on that it's a misdemeanor. So the warrant itself has F as a felony, but the warrant can be mistaken, okay? Because you have a preset misdemeanor bond amount.
Thank you.
All right, you understand?
Yes, I got you.
All right, sir, any other questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Willingham?
All right, Mr. Willingham. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery, so misdemeanor. Your bond is 3,500. Special conditions, no contact with Sharita Thomas, whose house is 4701 Bleacher Street, Forest Park address. I can't hear you.
It's my house.
All right, Miss Thomas lived there?
Yes, she does.
All All right, whose name is on the lease, or not the lease, but the deed? You own it or you rent it or what?
I own it.
Whose name is on the deed?
My name.
Is her name on it?
No.
All right. So it's just going to be special condition, no contact with her, sir. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, stand by here for me. I'm just writing out the address from your bond order. The special condition is no contact with Sharita Thomas. All right. Preliminary hearing scheduled for the 17th of August. And lastly, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Winston,
Good morning, Judge.
How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Winston. Sir, you're charged with 2 counts here. Criminal damage, 2nd degree. 2,500 is a bond. And violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of cocaine, 5,000. 7,500 is your total, sir. And there's no contact with Latasha LaFay. You all live together?
Yes, sir. Last time they never asked me who apartment it was, but it's like, it's mine. I just
All right. Is it a deed or a lease?
It's a lease, sir.
And your name is on the deed exclusively?
It's my night, and I stay where in Alabama. I just moved over here. I've been staying up here for 2 years, so I have nowhere else to go.
Okay. All right, sir. You have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, well, that will conclude your first appearance today.
Okay, how much to burn? I can burn out?
Your bond is 7,500. There's no contact with Latasha LaFay. You have to sign off on that special condition. You understand you could get new criminal charges if you violate that special condition.
Yes, sir.
All right, any other questions?
That's all.
All right, thank you.
okay, Your Honor, that concludes all else.
Yes, sir, Deputy Lee. The way I do it is we keep it open. There's no delays, okay? We'll get in where we fit in. So that's I think this is the first time I've worked with you, but we just keep going.
Okay, okay, Judge, thank you.
I appreciate it. See you next time.
Okay, then.
Thank you.
Are you ready for the females, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Just let them know your name.
Monica Butts.
Ms. Butts, good morning to you. You have speeding 21 to 25 over the speed limits. 500 is your bond. Driving while license suspended is 1,500. It's the 2,000 total. August 17th, first appearance. All right, and Ms. Butts, one moment here.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Just let them know your name.
Coincidence.
All right, Ms. Daniels.
You said Davis.
Dennis.
James. You froze up, Your Honor? Okay. You're gonna sign back in. Froze up.
All right, can you all hear me?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
All right, yeah. The fun of Zoom was completely kicked out. All right, I apologize for that delay here. Ms. Daniels. Improper stoppings, 500 is your bond. Open container, 500. Driving while license suspended, 1,500. Preliminary hearing date, August 17th, 8:30. And ma'am, are you currently employed?
Yes.
All right, how much do you make each month?
About 1,500.
All right, ma'am, I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you.
Next in line. Who was in line over? How y'all sitting over there? Sure.
Yes, ma'am, what's your name?
Shirley Thomas.
Ms. Thomas, one count of aggravated assault.
Yeah.
It's 5,000 is the bond. Criminal trespass, 2,500. There's no contact with Tony Willingham. And I saw Mr. Willingham earlier. Are you at the 4071 Bleecher Street?
No,
You don't live there?
no.
All right, August 17th is your preliminary hearing date. And I will appoint an attorney to represent you. You have any questions?
Yeah, you said 5,000 for 5,000 and 2,500 for what?
That's your bond, 7,500.
You said, okay, the 2,500 was for what?
Criminal trespass.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Who's up next? The match already not over. Tell me name.
Allison Marie Donnelly.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Donnelly. One count of theft by taking. 5,000 is your bond. No contact with Richard Skaggs. Your preliminary hearing scheduled for 16th of August. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, Ms. Donnelly?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Let me know your name. I got the fugitive going last round.
All right, yes, sir.
Hey. Hey, hold on.
Yes, ma'am, what's your name?
Good morning,
Match
Johnny.
over your face, man.
Sorry, Johnny Williams.
All right, Ms. Williams. Reckless driving is 2,500. Hit and run, 5,000. And unfortunately, the aggravated assault, there is no bond today on that offense.
Matt,
Yes, ma'am, can you hear me?
yes, sir. I was just gonna say, may I ask why, but never mind.
The warrant reads June 27, 2021 at 1971 Mount Zion Road, Morrow. Did knowingly, willingly, and unlawfully of aggravated assault upon Lenoris Culberth. Said accused is the living girlfriend of said victim. Said accused did intentionally make contact with the victim with her motor vehicle, knocking her to the ground. Said accused then ran over the victim's legs before leaving the scene in said vehicle. Ma'am, based on the nature of those charges, today you do not get a bond from me. It's possible you get a bond from someone else, but as of today, there's no bond on that offense.
Okay, and my last question, if we were to get a lawyer, could they get me one before then, before the preliminary hearing?
Yes, sir. You can hire. Yes, ma'am. You can hire your. Yeah, I'm appointing an attorney to represent you today. That lawyer will be in touch with you, but you can hire a lawyer at any time.
Okay,
All right. Your bond hearing is August 20th at 8:30. All right. You have any questions?
no, thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Start right now.
Shaterica Purvis.
All right. Yes, ma'am. So, Miss Thomas, you're here this morning separately from everyone else. All the rights that I outlined when I just went through there, and Ms. Bermudez was there interpreting for Mr. Garcia and the other females, all those constitutional rights apply to you, except today we're here because there is a warrant that reads that you did enter and remain in the state of Georgia, knowing you are wanted by Harris County Sheriff's Office, Texas, for homicide, and they list the warrant number. The offender was traveling from Kingston, Jamaica, flight DL 1841 to Atlanta, Georgia, attempting to board the flight to Houston, Texas. The incident occurred at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. So there's a warrant here out of Texas for you, and I'm here to explain to you what your options are related to extradition. So what's happening is that you can contest extradition, or you can waive or not go through the full extradition hearing. This hearing is conducted pursuant to the official code of Georgia annotated title 17, chapter 13. I've read the warrant there for you, and the warrant outlines there what is the reason for you being held here as a fugitive. If you wish to voluntarily return to Texas, you can do so. However, if you do not and you wish to contest or fight and go through the full procedure, you can contest 4 things. 1, whether the extradition documents like the warrant I just read to you and any other documents related to that warrant, you can contest whether they are in fact in order or correct on its face just by looking at it and see if there's some errors there. You can challenge those type of errors. Secondly, you can challenge whether what you're charged with is an actual crime. For example, some states marijuana is legal. So if someone is being held for that and it's legal in that state, then you can say, oh yeah, that's not a crime anymore. It was a crime, but it no longer is. So you can contest that. Thirdly, whether you are in fact the person that is listed on the warrant. That's not me, that's someone else, right? That's something you could challenge. And then lastly, whether you are in fact a fugitive, maybe you have permission to travel, or that's something else that I may not have said. You can contest that you are in fact a fugitive or not. So those are the 4 things you can challenge. If you then you remain in Georgia, and how a warrant to be prepared under Governor Brian Kemp's signature, and there can be a hearing. It can be 30 days, up to 30 days, sometimes longer, up to 90 days. If you waive, Texas will have 10 days, generally should be business days, to pick you up or make arrangements for you to be brought to Texas. They have 10 days to do so. Failure to do so can result in your release. However, they can ask for an extension as well. So those are your options today. You can contest or fight extradition, or you can waive. What is your choice today, ma'am?
The 10 days, that you was talking about.
All right, so I've sent over the waiver forms, and if you can sign off on those forms, ma'am, then you'll waive the formal extradition hearing.
Days.
Oh, my God.
Which one?
It's about 7 of them. You sign all of them.
That's true.
Which, I mean,
You said sign all of them.
all of these.
Sign all of them. Judge, I have all the paperwork signed.
All right, yes, sir. All right, Ms. Thomas, you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you, ma'am. All right, Deputy, appreciate it.
Yes, Your Honor, I had this up there, fax sheet in less than 10 minutes, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, Your Honor.